will be marching on Downing Street today, urging the government to secure their industry's future. Over 70,000 people either work directly for the British steel industry or in its supply chain. But the Steelworkers Union warns that soaring energy prices and, of course, cheap steel from overseas, taken together, is putting their jobs at risk. Joining us now, the General Secretary of the Steelworkers Union community, Roy Rickes. Roy, very good morning. Thanks very much for being with us. Just explain exactly what the problem is within the British steel industry at the moment and what you need the government to do.
Yeah, morning, Neil. Well, you outlined at the start one of the main issues in the immediate sort of crisis that we're in, which is high energy costs and the government's need to support industry through the energy crisis. Obviously, we're all seeing on a personal level the domestic problems, people's household bills. But imagine that when you're running a steel mill or a steel plant, that is a significant challenge at the moment. We've got the energy bill relief scheme, which is due to run out in March. One of the things that we want to see the government do is to extend that scheme beyond March for industry and for energy-intensive industries. If you look, for example, in Germany, they've already announced that they're going to extend their scheme right throughout 2023, and actually the cap is significantly lower. It's about 130 pounds per kilowatt hour, whereas in the UK our cap is at 200 and I think it's 213. So we need the government to come forward now and do something around the energy costs. But then that's to try and secure going forward. We're faced with significant challenges around the move to net zero and decarbonisation, which we know we have to meet, and we need government support in that area as well.
Clearly, Roy, the increase in the cost of energy is a major contributing factor in all of this. But I do wonder whether or not, your industry has been making these points for some time. Certainly before we saw the invasion of Ukraine and the rising cost of energy. It feels as if the government hasn't been listening.
Well, absolutely, Neil. You are right to point out that my union and the workforce in particular, and not just us, but the employers, the UK Steel, which is the Employers Association, we have been lobbying government for years about the significant disadvantages our industry faces against our main competitors and probably the rest of the world. We saw that through the dumping of steel into the UK. We need proper safeguards, we need proper measures. I think you're absolutely right. We have had lots and lots of warm words. We've had ministers, we've had Secretary of States, we've had Prime Ministers stand at the dispatch box and say that they are going to support the steel industry and how important the steel industry is the future of the UK economy, a strong manufacturing sector and a strong steel sector, steel industry within that sector. We're still here. We're still asking the same questions.
Sure. What then, Roy, are the advantages to using British steel? Clearly, cost is a big issue for everyone, no matter what industry you're working in at the moment. Yes. But one thing that your industry has said time again is, look, we can produce the quality steel that you need if you are building, for example, boats for the Royal Navy.
Yes, absolutely. But there's a bigger advantage in one sense when you look at the whole issue of net zero decarb. We are going to need steel. That is without doubt. There is not a solution that doesn't involve the use of steel. You want to make wind turbines, etc. So steel is needed. So we either make the steel here and support thousands of good jobs, communities, whole communities, or we import steel. Now, tell me how importing steel from halfway around the world is environmentally friendly and is going to save the planet. It is not. You need to make steel in the UK, and we need, for our own safety and security for this country, to have the capacity to make steel. And every successful economy has the ability to make steel. It's unthinkable that we would let our industry die and then import steel from outside because we still need steel. It's not just crazy, it doesn't make sense.
Roy Rickes, great to have you on the programme this morning. I hope you have a lovely Christmas when it comes.
Thank you very much. Same to you.